So, Mr. Pratik, can you hear?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you now.
So, shall we start the meeting?
Yes, let's do that.
Okay, please go ahead.
Sure thing. So, hi everyone. How are you guys doing? I hope you're well. My name is Pratik Sahani. I'm the newest manager at Punjab University Technology Enabling Center. So yeah, I'm here to give you a few tips on how to be effective in your presentation for transfer of technology to industry. So I prepared a slideshow for you guys, and let's get to it. Can everyone see the slide show here? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Can someone?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. All right, so let's get right to it. This presentation is about pitching your tech effectively and what sort of information you need to provide to be effective, to be able to effectively communicate your proposal. So the first thing to keep in mind is that everyone needs to be focused on the exact thrust that you want to have in your presentation, and that for now is to generate interest in technology, not specifically to get a ToT on the spot, which is fairly difficult, but to generate enough interest that follow-up meetings can happen and you can get productive conversations with industry. For that, the industry um, always wants technology that they're licensing to obviously help their own growth. So we as inventors need to think about the information has to be helpful in a business perspective, right? That does not simply include our inventions. It also has to deal with the market conditions of your specific sector, of your specific segment, and your specific invention. Now, before we start, a few guidelines on effective presentations. First is to include any numerical data to support your arguments. Numerical data has been shown to provide a sense of reliability and believability to a pitch, which is especially important for cynics, as you might imagine. Second is to keep your presentation uncluttered. Large blocks of uninterrupted text have been known to negatively impact viewers' concentration and attention over time. Ideally, your slide should be scannable, that is to say, easy to read at a glance. Any important information that you want to convey has to be isolated so that the eye can catch it. Graphs and charts are a good way to declutter while still imparting relevant and important information. Some images of your inventions, if relevant, should also be included, as that will again give a more engaging presentation. And like I said before, our pitch has to be heavy on how our technology can serve our licensee and then serve the end user. So without further ado, a title slide will mention the absolute basics: your technology name, your own name, affiliation, IPR status, and TRL level. Now, one slide has been reserved for the problem statement, which should clearly state what exact problem, what exact issue your invention, your technology, your research in general is trying to solve. from a business perspective, that should include information on what problem the users face, and not necessarily what social problem there might be, as an example, right? The problem to your end users that the company will be able to solve using your. You should not include any information. It's very first on its title. This slide deals with how the problem is already being addressed. That is to say, what competitive technologies that already exist in the market space that you will probably need competition research on your competition, and find the solutions that they provide, not which are not solving the problem that you propose. Moving on to the next point is that this will allow to depict the gap in the market that you want to occupy. Again, there is no need to mention your solution here. That will start with it. Now, here you'll summarize solution. Brevity is your friend, and no background is necessary here, because presumably the company that is your deal. What you should mention is the novelty of your solution. And of course, solutions are always to a features. If you can manage that, then that should be an enhancement for your pitch. And again, solutions are always preferable to a list of features. Is, let us say, for a dishwasher. A dishwasher is not something that washes your dishes. From a marketing perspective, a dishwasher saves you time and effort. Saving of time and effort in this case is the solution that you are providing, not the washing of dishes. Now, cost benefit analysis requires you to find what sort of costs are involved of your product. A general, in your case, by finding out how much to make prototype, to make one. The theory being that prototype each unit of your product. So a simplistic formula that is cost raw materials, which essentially is your bill of materials. The cost of direct labor, for example, whoever is actually making the device, you can figure out how long it takes someone to make product, and then so that will be able to give you a rough idea of the cost of your end product, which should be lower than that of your prototype, and that is good for the industry itself. Now, the next part here is a little tricky. Competitor pricing for any similar or alternative technologies that are out there in the market, that you will be hopefully competing with when your product and your technology reaches the market. For that, you will have to find some of the competitors that are already operating in your market space, and potentially calling them up, or finding any sort of pricing information on the products that you want to replace or compete with in the market. That should give your licensees some amount of information on what sort of competition they face and what sort of pricing they themselves project. Now, your current technology readiness level, TRL, is a simple number for now. The next point deals with how you are going to implement your solution, which logically means how you are, what are that you need to perform to actually increase your TRL level at 3 points. Business readiness level is also a metric that you might want to look into and help show your potential licensees what sort of business strategy they might want to employ and how much of it is already done, which is unlikely to be large, but still good information to have. The next bit deals with your intellectual property status. I am seeing that most of the technologies that have been handed over to us are patented or at least filed. So mentioning that is a good idea. But more that you might want to mention the differences and advantages over the closest prior art. That is to say, what novelty your invention has, but specifically what advantages your technology, your invention has over the closest prior art. Another thing to consider is freedom to operate. I hope most of you know what freedom to operate means when it comes to intellectual property. If not, then I'll give you a small primer. Freedom to operate deals with the idea that other patents, other patents stop you from bringing your technology to market. If you have freedom to operate, then that means you are not being blocked by other patents. So if you have any FTO analysis, if you've had any FTO analysis done in your expected territories, then that is very good information to have if you have free FTO. If not, then you may want to skip this particular section. Now, the unit cost of production, as I said before, it gives a rough idea. The formula that I provided gives a rough idea to show the approximate production cost prototype, and for the licensee to have a upper limit on the production cost of their eventual product they will hopefully licensing from you. That will give them some information to calculate if they go with that route. Now, TL and BRL, like I said, business readiness level, included a scale here on the different levels of business readiness. And you might want to go through them to evaluate what BRL level your technology actually currently has. Generally speaking, in my experience, at this level, at this stage, you might reach BRL 4, right? It is not a issue if it's not an issue if you do reach the upper levels of BRL, business readiness. That's all. The next segment of your presentation deals with market. You need to target the customers for each use case, perhaps including the customer type and the business strategy that might be employed to reach that customer base. For example, a generic medical device might be sold to hospitals, might be sold to clinics, might be sold to, well, anything that you can imagine. As wide of a market as you can reach, that should be your goal. Your customer base, that is to say, your customer base should be as large as possible. That should. Now, total addressable market is a somewhat technical term in the marketing in the business industry. deal that is actually a number which is found by finding out the average revenue a buyer of your technology can provide the company, and multiplying that with the number of potential customers in the market. I imagine that could be a little difficult for you to actually find out. However, you can actually find the market of your target invention or target market through some ways. In the same way, you can actually estimate the growth potential of your market, and the specifics of which I will provide in a later slide. Scale up feasibility or path may apply to everyone. It is to give a business licensee on how to possibly navigate future you are providing. An example for market size, preliminary information can be found in market report samples that are available online. If you Google your particular segment, here a surgical retractors market report that has been generated by a marketing company, specifically here markets, and it shows the global size and outlook. In short, it does not have a corroborate information reports. Averaging the number. Now here is an example of scale-up path for a generic medical
Yes, sir.
device.
Sir, slide is not visible, sir. Sorry.
This one, market size.
नहीं सर स्लाइड
Yeah.
शो चला गया है, स्लाइड नहीं विजिबल हो रही.
Let me I think that sharing way. I'll thank you for informing. DG, let me do that. Yep. There. Can you see it now?
Hello.
Can everyone see?
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, sir. Now it is. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. So this was the slide that we departed from.
ToT technology.
Sir, can you start from the last slide? Just one slide
Sure,
before
sure.
this slide, because there was a
मीटिंग
network
में
Yeah,
issue
this
at
one.
that time.
ऑनलाइन मीट किया
Yes,
हुआ है,
sir.
प्रेजेंटेशन कैसे बनानी है उस पे
Sure, no problem, no problem. Market potential, like I was saying, market potential. This information is crucial for businesses to be able to make a
मार्केट
decision on.
पोटेंशियल, TRL एंड BRL, यूनिट कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन, मार्केट साइज, ऐसी ये सब चीजें बनानी है पीपीटी में. इसको बनाया ही
If you don't have a question, would you mind please muting yourself, everyone? Thank you. So, like I was saying, market potential is good information to have, which is possibly crucial information to have for a business to be able to make decisions on whether or not to license your technology, right? For that, you define your customer base,
Hello, hello, hello.
the target customers. Excuse me, did anyone have a question? Okay. So define your customer base, and you should be aiming for as wide a customer base as possible, so that eventually the profits for the company and uh, in the best case you guys as well is maximized, right?
Hello.
Including the customer type or the business strategy that is to be employed for your product, like business to consumer, business to business, business to government, direct to consumer,
हाँ हाँ
etc.
इससे बात कर लो ना
Can and should be included.
ठीक ठीक ओके
The next point deals with the market size, specific market size, in the form of total addressable market. Now, this metric is tells the viewers the ideal largest possible market size that your particular technology could have in Indian rupees or US dollars or whatever. Which is now this TAM is found by multiplying the average revenue from every user of your technology or product, multiplied by the number of potential users of your product, potential customers who are buying your product. Now, I understand that this may be a very difficult thing for you to find out, for you to calculate, because you don't necessarily have a lot of market information. However, at a minimum, you should be mentioning market size and its growth potential. This is to show, give an indication of the actual size of your market that a licensee, a company can take advantage of. The next issue that you might want to look into is scale up feasibility or path for your technology. That is to say, if you have a lab scale technology, but you need to create a business on a business scale, on an industrial scale, what changes one might need to consider to be able to do that. Specifically, what changes a company might need to consider in your processes to be able to accomplish that. Now, the market size, as I said before, preliminary information can be found from market report samples that are available online for just about every segment of the market. Googling this will help. Googling your market, its size, its in particular territories like India or globally, you should be able to find relevant information. In the example that I've provided, I have shown surgical retractors market by product globally, right? And that tells me the forecasted, the current global market in US dollars, that's USD 1.9 billion in 2022, and its growth rate, CAGR of 6.7%. These are good pieces of information to show. You might also want to consider finding multiple different reports to corroborate your information. Perhaps average these numbers to get a more credible piece of information to present in your presentation. I've included the link to this particular market report to show what sort of thing you might find in the end. In fact, this particular kind of report will also give you a list of major competitors in the field. So that will help you with that as well. Now, a scale-up path, an example of a scale-up path for a generic medical device is as follows. Your own particular scale-up path may or may not match this, but this should give you some amount of some idea on what to actually shoot for. So here you mentioned the feasibility of your prototype. and whatever validation tests you have been able to conduct. Commercialization can include the change from a small scale production to a large scale production, its time frame, and possibly how the company might manage that. However, these bits of information are more relevant to the companies themselves. I've included this here so that you might be able to show them or ease their way into imagining how such a thing can happen. Commercialization of your product can happen on a large scale. For many industries, regulatory approvals are necessary, such as in the medical industry, pharmaceutical, medical devices, and whatnot. And that is good information also to share, although that generally depends on the company itself. Still, mentioning it is not an issue, should not be an issue. Moving on. Now comes the part for constraints. What constrains you from actually getting your technology to a productionizable level? Specifically, you might mention the time to TRL9. What are the steps required to achieve TRL9 for your technology? As an example, clinical trials, pilot studies, etc. If any of you have previous experience in bringing a technology to market or bringing getting a technology licensed by the industry, use that. Approximate information is also good enough to draw up a basic picture of the timeline should be different because they are actionable information opposed to relatively the actual time frame that will be required. I have
सर स्लाइड चली
included
गई.
a let's say, okay, I'll do that again. आ गई slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So like I was saying, a Gantt chart is a good way to actually illustrate your timeline without showing a huge block of text that one has to take time and effort to read. It gives information at a glance. It is also engaging. I've included a free template of how to create a timeline in Gantt timeline in PowerPoint, as well as the link to a resource that will show you how to do it from scratch, as you like. Now, in other constraints, there could be what approvals that you need to get, what certifications that you need to get, or the company might need to get after licensing, and any others that you might be able to think of. I have inputted some other possible constraints that you might face, including equipment consumables for particular tasks, some manpower if needed, perhaps some technically knowledgeable people to further your research. Whatever you might think of, that could be a constraint to reaching TRL 9 should be mentioned here. Now, the next issue to tackle is expectation, your expectation from the industry itself. Of course, the first point here is the actual licensing of your technology. That can include exclusive or non-exclusive licenses, whatever sort of licenses that you might be thinking of. Having the help of people who are knowledgeable in contracts management and drafting of them can help. Your institutes should have people who are knowledgeable. You might also want to mention the tentative cost of your technology here and any royalty expectations that you might have. Any other issues in the actual licensing you can mention here, because the industry needs to know these. Now, another issue is the requirement of funds for further research, for further developing your technology. And for that, you should provide a breakdown of it to be more transparent in how that funding will be utilized if given to you. A good start might be to find the actual steps required to achieve TRL 9 and draw up whatever funds you require to do that. Any other funding that you might require, you should mention here. Now, funding can also be shown in a graph format, which is again a more engaging way of viewing it as opposed to text. A pie or donut chart will be good for it, as you can imagine. Again, I've included the steps on how to create a pie chart in PowerPoint, and that's the link here. You may also feel free to use this particular donut chart to edit it to your requirements. Go for it. Now, the last thing I've mentioned here is a partnership formula, which may or may not apply to you depending on your circumstances. And that some of these things I've given in examples. However, this entire point will definitely, you will have to think about it and what your requirements might be. Anything that you think of and validate by discussion among your own people. After that, you can mention them. Now, in closing, I'll just say that you should, in my opinion, everyone should practice their pitch. Smoothness in your speech shows good preparation. Confidence is key here. And your main objective is to create a good flow for listeners so that they do not become distracted and go away. You should aim for a very smooth presentation. Thank you. If you have any questions, this is the time.
So my name is Praveen Singh and I am from IVT Technologies. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Go ahead.
Okay. First of all, thank you so very much for the detailed presentation of what should we do while we are pitching. And I think absolutely everything was crystal clear. So I don't know, as far as the subject is concerned, we need to ask any questions. But my one question is that what is the success rate of your past interactions with the industry? How many offers have been converted into acceptances?
That's a good question to ask. My background is from multiple years of operating in the industry itself, in the medical devices domain. And the companies that I've worked with have adopted technologies from various outside sources, which definitely does include universities. So I have been around the process and I have been involved in the process in the past. I have also made this slide deck in consultation with people who are in the government and who deal with that transfer of technology, and they have years of experience in the field. Does that answer your question at least partially?
Yeah, at least partially, because I wanted to know what is the, I mean, your experience of how many people have offered, say last year only, how many people have offered to the industry their inventions, and how many of them have been accepted by the industry? What is the success rate?
Okay, I have my senior manager here who has been operating at Technology Enabling Center for multiple years now. He should be a better person to tackle your question.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, good morning.
Good morning,
May I
sir.
know your name, sir?
My name is Praveen Singh. I am from IVT Technologies, Patiala.
Okay. Praveen ji, good morning, and a very relevant question that you have asked. What is our past experience? So our past experience, we in our last conference, we have presented around 70 technologies again to the industries, and the talks on these technology transfer, 31 talks on different technologies that have started. Now, they are still in the process of taking transfer, and we have, I would like to tell you that we have achieved a few NDCs. Like NDCs means non-disclosure agreement, NDAs between the technologies. There is 3 of them has been already done, and they are in the process of taking place in the process of transfer. Even we have drafted few agreements also which are in the consideration, because it is a long process, it is a long journey. That is why we have what we have presented to is a learning of our previous conference. In our previous conference, we have allowed scientists, we have told scientists you should present. They are presenting about the sciences of the technology in their presentation more in the front of industry. And what we have analyzed during our journey is that the industry is more more interested in what is the business. They are interested in the science. Definitely, they are interested in the science, but they are more interested how their business is, how we are going to develop business out of this science. So what we are doing is right now with this, what we are trying to do is we are into the process so that we should decrease that transfer time. We should be able to decrease that transfer time. This is what we are trying to do with this effort. And again, I would like to tell you there will be more lectures. Like I will definitely tell you that we will be engaging people from NRDC also to tell more about how we are going to transfer, what we should put in our technology that it should be able to transfer to the technology, to the industry, make more relevant to the industry for technical transfer.
Well, that sounds quite encouraging, but still the fact remains that the conversion rate is abysmally slow and very low, because just 3 out of 71 presentations have found favor with the industry. My apprehension is that I might be sounding very cynical, but the fact still remains that most of the information that is shared with the industry either goes to provide their own channels, or it hardly brings up the inventorship of the inventor into the commercial arena of the market. What I mean to say is that people get ideas from the presentations and then they go slow over it. What is the reason? What is the resistance?
The risk factor is I feel is the risk. What you say is there is a difference. That is first thing I would like to tell you that the worldwide, if we say the translation of technology, that is very low for India. In India, the translation of technology, what technology we are producing, that is very low. Again, if you're saying 70 out of 3, we are measuring about 5 to 6%, which is at par with the world average. Agar aap world average pe baat karoge, the number of technologies that are going there and going to the industry, that is there. We are at par with the world average. But yes, it is slow and we want to accelerate it. So all these are the steps. And their second question is, Indian industry, what I feel is they don't take that much risk for investing into a new technology.
Yes.
If the technology is there, if the technology is there, they are going and relevant to their field, they will invest in that. But if it is replacing them also, and
Yes.
if it is creating a new product, they are not going to invest in this.
Correct.
So this is
Agreed.
there is a mindset change. They need to change in mindset for both the sides, even for the academicians and for the industry. So that is why we are trying on the both the sides. We are trying on the side of the inventors also, and we are trying on the industry side also. We are only inviting those industries who are interested. We are sharing all the technologies with the industry, and then tell them to have a look on the technologies and then register if they are interested. We are not saying everybody should come and listen. We are sharing them the technologies, list of technologies, and then telling them to listen to these technologies. And if they feel interested, then the transfer is there. So we are doing it on the both the sides.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And I think I have taken too much of your precious time. Now let someone else, ask the question. Thank you so very much, sir.
Probably we are there for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Hello. Yes. Yeah.
Hello.
Good morning,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Good morning.
Sir, good morning, sir. Sir, I want to know what we will add in competitive analysis. Yeah. Okay. What we will
Right.
add in real in competitive analysis part. Like you said, in IPR we will
I think
compare
there are
with
three
the
majors that you
prior.
might want to in competitors. I beg pardon. Hello. Beg pardon. You were saying?
Sir, what we will add in competitive analysis part, like you said, in IPR section you compare with the prior art. Our technologies, prior art, we will compare at IPR
Okay.
section,
So
and in competitive analysis.
okay. So the issue, the difference between competitive analysis with respect to IPR and with respect to the actual market.
Yes.
I'll explain both of those briefly. On the IP side, you will need to find the prior art that is closest to your own, right?
Okay.
And studying those prior arts, you will be able to find their own particular claims, their own features, and their own novelty, and comparing with your own, you will be able to find out what IP, intellectual property, your invention, for lack of a more technical term, how your own invention is better than the projected invention of someone else's IP, right? However, on the
Yes.
market side, that is more practical analysis. IP deals with what the future can hold. Market deals with what is already here, right? So on the market side, first you have to know your own product and your own technology and exactly which sectors it will be operating in, right? From there, from researching that particular market segment or sector, you should be able to find other products or services that are already out there that your target customers use, right, to solve their issues. Now, knowing this, you'll find different companies that are providing those services or products. For example, a medical device company, a medical device technology inventor should be able to understand that companies like Philips are their competitors. Scanray, Mindray, as an example, they are their competitors, right? And then you find the exact products that you will be competing with, right? List those features of your products, your technology that will outperform your competition's products. If possible, you can call up these competitors yourselves and find information about the pricing of those particular products that they already offer, right? So this is competitive analysis. Three aspects of competitive analysis, which is the pricing, the companies that are your competitors, the products of those companies that are your competitors, and the pricing of the products that will be your competitors.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Vivek, for your question.
Yeah, Mr. Pradeep,
Ji.
am I audible?
Yes.
Can I ask some questions?
Ramakrishnan.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So, good morning. First of all, thank you so much. I have a couple of questions. This is somewhat in line with IVT technologies also, because we also felt that that concern is very, very valid.
Ji.
Because particularly for the inventors whose invention is in the TRL, say TRL 4 right now. Okay, so we have not taken it to the level of TRL 8 or 9. So
Right.
those kind of inventors are in real need of support first to elevate their TRL level to a higher level. This will probably minimize the risk of somebody just taking away your idea, and just because they may have already some production stream with them, directly they can just incorporate, whereas we don't have that kind of production stream. We have to newly establish some chain for testing our product. So all these things we have to now establish for us, which may not be the case for a company which is already well established. Okay. So at this point of time, what do you suggest is the best thing for an inventor whose invention is at the moment at TRL 4? They should look for more funding and try to take their TRL to say 8 or 9 and then talk to company, or some companies will be seriously just directly taking the license and they will take care of the next ones, or they will fund the inventor that, okay, we will give you some preliminary funding so that let us see your invention really goes to the next level or not. So at least I am visualizing 3 channels. Okay, first channel is directly the inventor themselves find out some other government funding or whatsoever and try to elevate the TRL. Second is that through some inventors elevate your TRL. Third, directly transfer the technology at this stage. Which one is more feasible and more safe, you think?
Right. So I think that a misconception might be in people's minds that one of these processes are better than the other. Right.
Okay.
So technology at a low TRL level not be an because they, in our experience, TRL level may not be a huge detriment for industry to take up your technology. I'm not saying that in every case, regardless of low TRL level, they have taken TRL level 4 technology and developed it themselves. So that is a possibility, right? And it does not, and if I imagine it correctly, it does not take a huge amount of effort on your part to be able to pitch your technology competently at a low TRL level 2, right? So that is something that you should be considering doing regardless.
Yes.
Right. Now, the next question, the next aspect of your question, sorry, you wanted to follow.
I'm sorry?
Right. Okay. So the next aspect of your question was whether you should find funding for your own, funding on your own through government channels or through the industry. Okay. Both of those are possible. Both of those are possible, but funding from the government actually takes a lot of time and an uncomfortable amount of accounting needs to happen towards the government from your side, right?
Okay.
However, transfer of technology agreements can be made in such a way where the industry who wants technology but will keep you in the loop in developing it further to TRL 7, 8, 9, whatever is required for production. Generally TRL 8 or 9 should be productionizable.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
In my opinion, in conclusion, in my opinion, you try for all three of these with the main intention of funding your having the industry itself try to fund the development or technology.
Okay. So here I have just one more question. This is with respect to the fund. Like as an academic researcher, we sometimes have limited knowledge in say for an academic project. If I'm proposing, I know that what is the budget I require, but for an applied project to take it to a higher TRL, at the moment I don't have an expertise to foresee that how much fund I would require. So typically, is there some way that I can get that information that for my project, what would be the fund that I would require for taking it from TRL 4 to say TRL 8? How would I know that?
Right. Okay. Uh, one thing, it will take coordination of your, for example, if for government funding, you will still have so
exactly
those same deliverables are what company require, right? TRL, if your deliverable, for example, is to reach TRL 4 and all processes from 4 to let's say 8, all the processes, if you know those, right, that you will have had to have put into your proposal to the government.
No, which I said, like up to
in the
TRL 4 I know. No. Up to TRL 4 I know because I have experience. Yes.
Let me answer this. Let me answer this in a way. The thing is, I understand most of the scientists are knowing to take how they can take to their technology to TRL 4. And further, actually, what happened is the prototyping is to be done, testing is to be done, actual field testing is to be done to increase the TRL level.
Yes.
There I feel it is necessary to have an industrial partner with you.
Okay.
If you're reaching for a government funding, go with the industry partner for this.
Okay.
Government also.
Okay.
Otherwise,
So
in the past, what we have done also, we have created this ToT agreement in a phase-wise manner, where industry will ask you to produce certain kind of products and they will test by themselves. Testing will be done by them.
Yes.
And increase the TRL mutually. And when they say it reached a certain TRL level, let's say TRL 5, 7 or 8, they can take the transfer and do it at their own level, because TRL 7, 8, 9 will have to be done at the ground level.
Yes. This would be, this
is what
sounds
I
like
will
a very
say.
good idea. Yes. So if we are at TRL 4 right now, during this technology transfer, if any company joins hands to further seek some funding from government so that the TRL level can be initially enhanced, looks like a good strategy. So
exactly.
I hope some companies will look for that also. Yeah. Got it. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for your question, Ramakrishnan ji.
Thank you.
So I have a question here in the chat from Mr. Drisha. I'll address that quickly. Will you sharing template will be helpful? Definitely after this meeting, I'll be sharing the exact template that I have created with all of you, all of our technology partners, and definitely feel free to use any and all information resources in there to make your presentation to make your pitch as possible. We will also be sharing the recording of this meeting with everyone. Sorry?
One final question. Which is the
Sure
best
thing.
place and the best time to meet you guys personally?
So you can come anytime to our sir. Monday we are there on the working days in Punjab University.
Okay.
Our office is in sector 14, GTP Bhavan, first floor, Technology Enabling Center. You can definitely come anytime. You have my number. I've been sharing it through my emails. You just make a call before coming, and you're welcome. Most welcome anytime. Anybody.
Thank you so very much, sir. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
एक क्वेश्चन है, अभी आपने जैसे प्रेजेंटेशन के बारे में तो सब कुछ बता दिया सर, एक जैसे स्टॉल
जी।
का भी ऑप्शन आपने दिया है कि अगर कोई स्टॉल लगाना चाहता है, स्टॉल के बारे में और थोड़ा सा बता देते सर आप हमें।
Sir, stall का ऐसा है sir, we are taking abhi we are looking into it because not many people have opted for stalls. So I think there will be one or two which will be will be saying ki whether we should drop it or keep it. This is in the question. So stalls we will be giving you before Diwali. We'll be giving you what exactly this, because I'm going to talk with everybody who has opted for stalls. So very less number of people have done that. So it is a kind of thing. Aapki technology, if I definitely give you a call for this, Harish ji. Hello.
Thank you, sir.
Any other question?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Does anyone else have any questions?
So, Garima ji, estimated time will be around 8 to 9 minutes for the in which you have to sum up this, and the rest of the time is for discussions like what discussions happens with the industry. Any more questions, sir? I feel this is it. Thank you very much. For the next session, again, I will be sending you emails. I'll be again sending you emails. Thank you very much for being patient and be here present with us. I think you can.
All right, sure. Thank you so much for attending, and I hope you got some value out of this discussion. I'll be sending the PPT, the sample PPT to everyone, and eventually we'll also share the recording of this session. We'll also be holding some meetings with people from NRDC to help you along before your pitch. And any questions that you have can be addressed to Dr. Ajay or anyone of the team. I will also mention that we asked everyone to send a short video of the inventor of the technology, mentioning the name, the USPs and whatnot. We sent out a template for that as well. I request everyone to send a 1.5 whatever minute video, if at all possible. Thank you so much everyone for your time. I'll see you next time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
So much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you everyone. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a great day.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.